Assalamualaikum and hi to Sir Hassanuddin bin Hassan. We hope you enjoy our video. This video is about our discussion of work of Frederick Winslow, Henry James, Henry Fayol, Mary Parker Follett, and Max Weber. My point is to explain about Mary Parker Follett. Mary Parker Follett is a writer, social worker, politician, theorist, and organizational consultant who has been dubbed the woman who invented management. There is three theories of Mary Parker Follett in management. Number one is integration, understanding the goals of both parties in order to achieve a win-win situation. Number two is leadership. True power is coactive rather than power over. Number three is visionary leaders. According to Follett's thesis, should be created as a strength within the organization, not used for personal dominance. My point of view on the approach in today's context. According to the mother of modern management, Mary Parker Follett, the ability to get anything done by humans was defined as management. Next, for Mary Parker Follett related examples, Mary Parker Follett is an ardent supporter for the community center. She also stated that democracy works better than an event is held in a local neighborhood. Next, in Mary Parker Follett works, for example, racial and sociocultural diversity is a critical component of a stable society and democracy. Move to the next point is advantages. The first advantage is that managers should inspire and motivate employees in order for them to perform effectively and achieve the organization's goal. The disadvantages of this strategy is that managers believe the theories proposed by experts in the relevant fields are too abstract and complex, rendering the employees' issues ineffective. Last but not least, for the conclusion of Mary Parker Follett, that her theory has been recognized. Her work on the development of thinking and practice in the field of informal education and lifelong learning has received relatively little attention in recent years. Her concerns about local democracy, group process, and the educative power of educational life do not find a ready response in policy debates today. So, we must broaden and deepen our educational life. That's all for Mary Parker Follett. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Fahmi Izman bin Muhammad Tohe. So, I will talk about Frederick Winslow. Frederick Winslow, known as the father of scientific management. Frederick's scientific management consisted of 4 examples. Number 1, replace rule of thumb work methods with method based on a scientific study of the task. Number 2, scientifically select, train and develop each employee rather than passively leaving them to train themselves. Number 3, provide detailed instruction and supervision of each worker in the performance of that worker's discrete task. Last but not least, divide work nearly equally between managers and workers so that the managers apply scientific management principle to planning the work and the workers actually perform the task. So we go to point of view on the approach in today's context. Taylorism is still important in 21st century business as it helps orientate the business towards their goals. help effectively manage other employees, and apply the scientific management method to the job to promote productivity. We continue to the advantages and disadvantages of Frederick Winslow approach. So the advantages is enhanced production, ability to control. Disadvantages requires huge capital, management takes control. So the conclusion is many knowledgeable people credit Taylor with inventing the concept of continuous improvement. Edward Deming reportedly said that Taylor's principles were the foundation of his own management theories. Even though widely misunderstood, Frederick Taylor's contribution to modern manufacturing method cannot be overstated. He was a true visionary and a tireless advocate for the workers as well as management. After that, we continue with the Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol was a French mining engineer, mining executive, author, and director of mines who developed a general theory of business administration that is often called Fayolism. He and his colleagues developed this theory independently of scientific management, but roughly contemporaneously, like his contemporary Frederick Winslow Taylor. He is widely acknowledged as a founder of modern management method. The management theory of Henry Fayol includes 14 principles of management. From this principle, Fayol concluded that management should interact with personnel in 5 basic ways in order to control and plan production. Number 1 is planning. According to Fayol theory, management must plan and schedule every part of industrial process. Number 2 is organizing. Henry Fayol argued that in addition to planning manufacturing process, management must also make certain all of the necessary resources such as raw material, personnel come together at the appropriate time of production. Number 3 is commanding. Henry Fayol management theory states that management must encourage and direct personnel activity. Number 4 is coordinating. According to the management theory of Henry Fayol, management must make certain that personnel work together in a cooperative fashion. Number 5 is controlling. The final management activity according to Henry Fayol is for the manager to evaluate and ensure the personnel follow management command. So we go to Henry Fayol point of view into the context is his principle advocates teamwork and working together for the mutual benefit of the business. Number 2, the 5 functions reveal the need for organization to plan and be agile in the face of changing market conditions. So we continue with the advantages and disadvantages Henry Fayol approach. Number 1 is give a manager a simple way to understand all the functions that a manager needs to perform. Number 2 is it is comprehensive in nature and can be applied to any organizational context. The disadvantages is Fayol based his work on his own experience in management and not on any empirical research. Number 2 is Fayol created the model in a very different time. The command and control model doesn't work so well with today's knowledge workers. Today, the focus needs to be on encouraging creativity, innovation, and problem solving amongst the team. So the conclusion is, these 14 principles of management are evergreen in nature, and no matter the way technology is catching up with us, these 14 principles of management will matter to even the smallest of organizations and will help them when they are growing large. There are even simpler ways to track several of the things written in 14 principles of management, but the ultimate goal is to have an organization which is efficiently managed, productive, and give optimum result as per the goals of the organization.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Syahida binti Abdul Wahab. My matrix number is A20A162. Max Weber was born in Germany in 1864 and grew up during the time when industrialization digitalization was transforming government, business, and society. Weber was interested in industrial capitalism, an economic system where industry is privately controlled and operated for profit. My viewpoint about the Max Weber in today's context is now the term bureaucracy has taken on negative connotation. Weber have identified 6 characteristics of rules of a bureaucracy, which is impersonality. Rules are applied uniformly to everyone. Second is career orientation. Management is separate from ownership and managers are career employees. Third is hierarchical management structure. Each level influences the ones below it while also being influenced by the level above it. Number 4 is formal rules and regulations. To ensure consistent and predictable behavior, rules and regulations are recorded. Number 5 is division of labor. Tasks are clearly defined and employees become skilled by specializing in doing one thing. And number 6 is formal selection process. Employees are chosen and promoted based on their experience, competence, and technical qualifications. There is advantages of a bureaucracy. First is specialization or expertise. Work is split among employees in bureaucracy management according to their ability, talents, and expertise. Second is equality. When there is an issue or a problem in the organization, the management maintains objectivity towards the employees. Third is predictability. When there is a systematic hierarchy and defined rules and methods of performing the complicated tasks in the organization, action in similar situations becomes somewhat predictable for the management. Number 4 is skill-based recruitment. Employees are hired by matching their abilities and expertise to the requirements of the open post, ensuring that the right individual is placed in the correct position. Number 5 is systematic record keeping. This method focuses on documenting all business transactions and operations in a methodical manner so that other employees can access them in the future. And the last one is structure. A systematic organizational structure can be developed through bureaucracy when the rules, regulations, and procedures are predefined. Next is the advantages of bureaucracy. First is the exploitation of power. In a bureaucracy, managers have a high authority which can be misused by them to meet their interests. Second is wastage of time, efforts, and money. In instance, recording all corporate activities and processes in order to compile documentation, which takes a lot of time, money, and effort. Third is delay in business decision making. The decision making authority remains in the hands of the top management. Number 4 is hinders innovation and creativity. The supervisor has complete control over the employees' activities, limiting their ability to use creativity and innovation in their work. Number 5 is inflexible and rigid methods. The bureaucracy theory does not entertain any change or modification in the management system, which makes it quite rigid. And the last one is one-way communication. The bureaucracy hypothesis stress the flow of information, tasks, instruction, and regulation from top to bottom management. However, input on operational concerns and other suggestions are not solicited from employees. In conclusion, bureaucracy is ruled in controlling something with the use of power or authority. Therefore, it is usually taken as a negative concept by many of us. However, this is not the case. The concept of bureaucratic management indicates the formation of a correct organization structure. Henry Gantt was born in 1861 in Maryland, USA. He died in 1919 and developed the management tool that is the Gantt chart just after the turn of the century. He was educated at the Stevens Institute of Technology and became a mechanical engineer. Gantt quickly gained a reputation for his commitment to efficiency and social responsibility. My viewpoint about the approach in today's context is the use of software in project management has never been as important as in today's world of online storage and cloud computing. Being able to access and update the document, calendars, and data from remote location means they are always kept up to the date in real time. Advantages Gantt chart. First is identifying relationships between tasks. Task dependencies can be documented and understood using Gantt charts. Second is helping you manage resources. Work must be assigned to an owner in Gantt charts. As a result, you will be able to see who is working on which assignment at any given time. And the last one is visualizing your project plan across time. Gantt charts allow you to create a project plan and view all of the work in a time-based bar chart. Next is disadvantage of Gantt chart. First is time-consuming to set up. Using a spreadsheet or spreadsheet-like software such as Microsoft Project, Smartsheet, or Rick to create a Gantt chart is not always intuitive. Second is getting messy fast. Adding lots of detail or only having a lot of tasks in a Gantt chart gets chaotic and difficult to understand quickly. And the last one is maintaining the Gantt chart is confusing. Traditional Gantt charts are excellent for assembling a preliminary perspective of the project for planning purpose. In conclusion, we must have realized that Gantt chart is very important by now. Although it has a few disadvantages, it is still a powerful tool for managing our project, teams, and time more effectively.